Every soldier is trained for the battlefield, right? They learn to navigate tough terrain, operate complex machinery, and function under incredible pressure. But what about the battles fought within? The ones that don't leave visible scars but can be just as debilitating? Get this. The rate of mental health diagnoses among U.S. military members shot up by nearly 40% between 2019 and 2023. And anxiety disorders and PTSD? They almost doubled in that same time frame. Too many face these challenges in silence, often not even knowing about the lifelines already in place, right within their own ranks. Today, we're not just talking about the struggle. We're uncovering the comprehensive mental health support systems out there designed to help every soldier navigate their toughest battles, the ones off the field. These are the hidden lifelines. Life as an Army soldier? It's uniquely demanding, no doubt about it. Exposure to combat is an obvious stressor, sure, but the challenges go way deeper. Think about it. Frequent moves disrupt personal lives and family stability. The pressure to juggle demanding military duties with family life can feel overwhelming. And then there's that pervasive issue of stigma. For generations, a kind of tough-it-out culture often stopped soldiers from admitting they needed help with their mental health. The fear of being seen as weak or of wrecking a career has historically been a powerful reason not to seek help. Many soldiers have worried that saying they need support could mess with their security clearance or their standing in their unit. This silence can be incredibly damaging, not just for the individual soldier's well-being and relationships, but also for unit cohesion and overall mission readiness. The truth is, mental health is health. Addressing it is a sign of strength, a vital part of a soldier's overall fitness for duty. The Army and the Department of Defense get this, and thankfully, the landscape of support is changing. The good news? The tide is definitely turning. The Army and the wider Department of Defense are working hard to break down those walls of stigma and create a culture where seeking mental health support is seen as the responsible and courageous thing to do. This isn't just about providing resources, it's about fundamentally changing the whole conversation around mental health. Leadership at all levels is getting better trained to recognize the signs of distress and to encourage soldiers to use the support available without fearing negative consequences. Initiatives like the Real Warriors campaign are actively working to make it normal to ask for help by sharing stories of service members who've successfully navigated their own mental health challenges. The message is crystal clear. Your well-being matters, and support is there for you. This commitment is shown in an expanding network of programs and policies designed to provide care that's accessible, confidential, and effective. In fact, as of December 2023, the Department of Defense updated its policy on command notification for mental health care, putting even more emphasis on confidentiality and aiming to make getting mental health services as normal as any other medical care. So, what are these lifelines we're talking about? Let's start with some of the most accessible and comprehensive resources available to every soldier, and often their families too. First up, there's Military OneSource. Think of it as your 24/7 gateway to a massive range of support services. It offers confidential non-medical counseling for individuals, couples, and families, tackling issues like stress management, relationship challenges, deployment adjustments, and grief. You can get to it online, by phone, or even face-to-face in some situations. Beyond just counseling, Military OneSource has a ton of online resources, articles, webinars, podcasts, and directories for mental health support, all geared towards empowering soldiers and their families. It's a confidential service, which means for many of its services, your command isn't automatically told when you reach out. Then there's the 988 Veterans Crisis Line. If you or a fellow soldier is in an immediate crisis, dialing 988 and then pressing 1 connects you directly with trained crisis counselors. This service is available 24/7, it's confidential, and it's free. It's a critical lifeline for anyone experiencing acute distress or having suicidal thoughts. You can also get support by texting 838255 or through online chat. Another vital resource is the Psychological Health Resource Center, also accessible 24/7. Trained consultants are on hand to answer questions about psychological health, help connect service members to the right care, and provide info on community support resources. This is a fantastic starting point if you're not sure where to turn or what kind of help you might need. Imagine a soldier. Let's call him Specialist Miller. He's been back from a tough deployment for a few months. He's irritable, not sleeping well, and feels disconnected from his family. He's worried, but doesn't want to make a fuss. He remembers hearing about Military OneSource. He makes a confidential call, speaks to a consultant, and gets connected with a counselor for a few sessions. Just talking about what he's going through starts to lift a weight. This is the kind of immediate low-barrier support these programs offer. The Army gets that making support easy to access is absolutely key. That's why they've developed programs that bring help closer to where soldiers live and work. Embedded Behavioral Health, EBH teams, are a real game changer. These teams, made up of mental health professionals like psychologists, psychiatrists, and social workers, are integrated right into operational units. This means soldiers have familiar faces they can turn to, right there within their brigade or battalion. The EBH model helps build relationships between providers and soldiers, reduces stigma by making mental health care a normal part of unit support, and allows for immediate consultation and care. Efforts are ongoing to expand this model because it's been so successful in cutting down wait times and boosting early intervention. A landmark development is the Brandon Act. Named in memory of Petty Officer 3rd Class Brandon Caserta, who tragically died by suicide, this act empowers service members to confidentially request a mental health evaluation through their chain of command, specifically a supervisor, E5 or above for the Air Force, staff sergeant or above for the Army, or commanding officer, without needing to give a specific reason. Leaders are then required to help them get this access quickly and without judgment. This is a huge step in lowering barriers and making sure every soldier can ask for help when they need it. Implementation kicked off in 2023, and the goal is that by 2025, every service member, no matter their rank or component, can self-initiate this confidential referral. And soldiers always have the option to self-refer directly to a mental health provider without involving their command. For those in the Army Reserve, the Army Reserve Psychological Health Program, PHP, offers specialized support. This program really understands the unique stressors faced by reserve soldiers, like balancing civilian careers, family life, and military duties. They provide confidential behavioral health services, suicide prevention programs, and support for those affected by sexual harassment or assault. They have points of contact in each readiness division, ready to help. These initiatives really show a commitment to proactive and preventative care, making sure support isn't just available, but actively woven into the fabric of Army life. Beyond individual counseling and direct Army programs, there's a whole network of dedicated organizations and services providing even more layers of support. The Wounded Warrior Project, WWP, for example, offers a range of mental health programs, retreats, and workshops specifically for veterans and their families. They focus on conditions like PTSD, anxiety, depression, and traumatic brain injury, TBI, providing personalized help and connecting individuals with the services they need, all completely free of charge. Chaplains have always been a cornerstone of support within the military. Army chaplains and religious affairs specialists offer spiritual guidance, counseling, and support for soldiers and families, no matter their religious affiliation. They're trained to help with stress, grief, relationship issues, and moral dilemmas, offering a confidential and trusted ear. Their role in spiritual readiness is seen as a key part of overall well-being. For soldiers who are transitioning between care providers, units, or even out of the military, the In-Transition program is crucial. This free, confidential program offers specialized coaching and assistance to ensure mental health care continues smoothly. Moving can be disruptive, and In-Transition helps bridge that gap so that progress made isn't lost. The Army's Holistic Health and Fitness, H2F system, also plays a big part, integrating physical, mental, spiritual, and nutritional well-being. H2F performance teams include professionals from medical, dietary, and religious support fields. Armed Forces Wellness Centers provide services like stress management and health coaching. Even programs like Strong Bonds, run by the Chaplains Program, offer retreats for individuals, couples, and families to strengthen relationships. These programs highlight just how important community and ongoing support are, They recognize that mental wellness is a journey, and having multiple ways to get help, tailored to different needs and situations, is essential. One of the biggest battles in military mental health is the one against stigma. As we've talked about, the fear of being seen negatively or facing career repercussions has historically stopped many from seeking help. The Army and DoD are tackling this head-on. A major worry for many soldiers is how seeking mental health care might affect their security clearance. Updated guidance makes it clear, seeking mental health treatment does not automatically put security clearances at risk. In fact, statistics show that the vast majority of cases involving psychological concerns keep their clearance eligibility. The message is that getting help is seen as a proactive step towards maintaining fitness and reliability. The DoD keeps updating policies to protect the private nature of mental health care services, balancing patient confidentiality with a commander's need to know for operational reasons, always with the aim of encouraging people to seek help. Leadership plays a critical role here. Commanders and NCOs are increasingly being educated to create supportive environments where mental health is discussed openly and asking for help is actively encouraged as a sign of strength. The Army is working to change the very language used around mental health to be less stigmatizing and more supportive. Campaigns like the Real Warriors campaign share personal stories from service members who have sought help and thrived, showing that recovery is possible and that mental health challenges are not a sign of weakness. These narratives are powerful tools in normalizing the conversation and encouraging peers to support one another. The Department of Defense is actively reviewing policies to get rid of stigmatizing language. Army Regulation 692, the Army's first standalone suicide prevention policy established in 2023, formalizes a public health approach to reduce harmful behaviors and build up protective factors. All these ongoing efforts aim to create a culture where every soldier feels safe and empowered to prioritize their mental well-being without fear. While we're keeping things anonymous and respecting privacy here, the power of personal stories in this journey really can't be overstated. Across various platforms, soldiers and veterans are increasingly sharing their own experiences with mental health challenges and their paths to recovery. These accounts often highlight that initial hesitation to seek help, echoing the concerns about stigma we've discussed. But more importantly, they shine a light on the turning points, the supportive leader, the encouraging peer, that moment of realizing that help was not only available but actually effective. They talk about the relief of unburdening themselves, the skills learned in therapy, and the renewed sense of hope and purpose that came with addressing their mental health. These aren't just stories of struggle, they are proof of resilience, courage, and the profound impact of tapping into these hidden lifelines. They show others that they are not alone, that what they are feeling is understood, and that there is a path forward. Every story shared chips away at that wall of stigma and helps light the way for others. If you are an Army soldier, or you know someone who is, please remember that these lifelines are there for you. Reaching out is a sign of strength. Talk to your leadership, a chaplain, a battle buddy, or contact one of the resources we've discussed. If you are in crisis, please call or text 988 and press 1. Share this video to help spread awareness. The information and support you need are closer than you think. The battles of the mind are real, but they don't have to be fought alone. The Army's commitment to soldier mental health is strong and always evolving, with a comprehensive network of support designed to be a lifeline in times of need. These systems are in place because every soldier's well-being is paramount. Seek the support, find your strength, and know that help is always available.